themselves a nice hard carry. The OD against the Dusa is not a surprise whatsoever. I feel like it's one of the better core-to-core counters out there, simply because you do that pure damage, you lower the int of the Dusa. It actually makes her a squishy enough hero that you can pop, where most other cores can't give you that.
It has save for the duel as well, so...
Yeah.
All right, prediction time.
I am going TNC pretty heavily here. I think VGJ.Thunder is a bit experimental when it comes to their draft. The early pickup of the Tiny. Yeah, I think like this is VGJ.Thunder, I think, trying something out.
Okay. Jack?
Yeah, again, to me, it was a question of which team would step a little bit away from their comfort zone. I feel like it's VGJ that's felt the need to budge a little bit, maybe from that group stage game. So I actually like TNC's draft and more in accordance with their playstyle this game as well. I'm going to go with TNC in game one.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, both have gone for TNC in our first game. It is time now to send you over to our commentary team for that first game of our quarterfinals. Mort and Brax, it's all yours, boys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Paul. Thank you. We are getting into the game. It is our first best of three, first game of the day in this 8-team playoffs, and we have a great last pick for VGJ.Thunder. It is the Yang Legion Commander. Brax, how are you feeling about this last pick for VGJ.Thunder? You heard the panel talk about going out of their comfort zone, and that seems to be exactly the case for VGJ.
Yeah, I'm excited for Legion Commander. It looks like their strategy is very clear-cut, right? You have this tanky Medusa, sits in the front lines, makes it hard for Batrider to find some of these targets in the back. Therefore, all you have to do is purge off the lasso on the hero that stands in front, gives you vision. Looks pretty good. It's always interesting to see how this hero performs because it feels like one of these heroes that does extremely well or extremely poorly.
It feels super snowball-centric on the Legion Commander. And then on the other side, you have TNC, and they have a very comfort draft, I would say, Brax.
Yeah, you look at their lineup and you think, wow, this is pretty standard. Everything looks very normal, very ordinary. Then VGJ.Thunder, perhaps experimenting a little bit, or as Jack said, stepping outside of their comfort zone.
It is just the first game, but we are going to jump into it. It is game one of today. We have 3 best of 3s on standby as the game is getting underway, and we'll get in as soon as we can. But the Dusa pick to me is the real curious point for VGJ.Thunder.
Yeah, Dusa, I mean, she is the hero that either wins or loses you the game, right? It's all on Dusa every time.
I guess it shouldn't be surprising considering how we've seen Freeze play so far in this tournament, the 3 Rapier Gyrocopter.
Yeah, agreed.
We will have maybe some action. Fade and then the rest of VGJ.Thunder getting close to Cuckoo, but he gets back to the Tier 1 tower, under the tower to safety. So TNC will do fine for now. But that is the game I think everybody was talking about. It might have been the best group stage game of the tournament. There were a couple of other good ones in there. The EG Liquid game was pretty good, but for our money, I think that was the best one for us.
When you go down the checklist, there's a whole bunch of good games.
Yeah. And we'll hope to see a great best of 3 here. TNC, they were sitting at 2-0. They lose that game. They lose against Virtus Pro, and then they have to win against Navi in the last day in the last round. And they do so, and that will sit them into this first best of 3. So things starting off in terms of the laning phase, we will have the Tiny for Sylar going into the safe lane. So it will be that safe lane Tiny, maybe getting that early Blink Dagger to the Shadow Blade, trying to get into that carry position later on into the game.
Yep. Pretty big deal from TNC. They actually managed to find the counter ward on VGJ.Thunder's offlane. So when you play with a hero like Legion Commander, typically very lane dominant, and also has a lot of kill pressure once heroes like the Tusk start to rotate in. So being able to deny that vision out is a pretty big deal.
And we'll sit this DDC Bane in the mid lane, drop the Enfeeble. Armel will have a tough time at the start of this game, and Freeze will get off to a good start. And keep our eyes on the aggressive dual lane in the top lane as well. And the Tiny already doing some tree damage with Sam Ace and Fade. The Burrow Strike will come in, just some harass from both of these teams. Fade getting kind of body blocked, but he has the 2 stacks of Sticky Napalm. He should be fine one way or the other. He'll get back to the tower and to stay safe at this point.
Yep, TNC asserting their dominance over this lane. This is not an easy lane for VGJ.Thunder at all.
This will be a bit tough, but for Yang as well, the offlane might struggle. This is a Gyrocopter. This is what you pick the Gyro for, having a good laning advantage.
Yeah, Gyro quite strong in lane. We've seen the Rocket Barrage and Homing Missile time and time again.
But it is against the Legion Commander. Legion can do pretty well. Overwhelming odds later into the game.
Yep, for sure. Early levels are pretty much fine for both these teams, but TNC have a pretty big advantage in their offlane, I would say. It's a Batrider with the Sand King support against 2 melee heroes. Right? There's not much they can do about it at all.
Good growing supports, though, and they'll start off with Tim's Burrow Strike. Good TP from Sylar. It's going to be close. 4 Sticky Napalm. He'll burn down to Tim's. That'll be first blood, and Fade has to back himself up. Nothing he can do there with the Ice Shards. Doesn't really help. Nice kill in the top lane for TNC to start it off.
Oh man, Sylar had quite the large wand there too, did not manage to use it before TPing.
And they're just diving onto Fade. They don't have any more Firefly for another 20 seconds, but they have the 3 sticky napalm stacks, and Tims has another Burrow Strike. And this is going to be maybe another kill here for TNC. He gets the snowball off, he actually gets the stick save as well, trying to get under the tower, get back to the creep wave. Now 5 sticky napalm stacks, 2 more auto attacks should do it. The Ice Shard's coming in. It's a lot of time wasted for TNC, but they will get yet another kill in this top lane.
We have TNC off to a fast start, and this lane gets even worse for VGJ.Thunder as they manage to get some levels up on Batrider as well.
And this is against a Tiny. Tiny, of course, a lot of base damage, the tree grab. Uh-oh. Look out. I don't know what's going on. But we will get back into the game. They have the Wind Lace for Sand King now picked up. He's up to level 2. All right, we're back into it, folks. Having a good time. So now they have Tims up to level 2. They have Sam H up to level 3. The early experience, that's been a big part of the bounty rune changes in the 7.10 patch. And, and this is going to be a good start for TNC because of that.
We usually see more of a lane support coming out from the 4 position, or at least these roamers playing more in the lane in the beginning to get that level 2 or 3 up before they can feel impactful on the map. But I mean, that was kind of punished this game, right? We had the very strong off lane from TNC. Bane's busy sitting mid, enfeebling Armel's OD, so he has no time to really help him. And it does show in the CS department, though. Armel with only 4 last hits.
I mean, this feels miserable for Armel on the OD. Maybe he gets a little bit more farm when he gets more points in the Essence or in the Astral Imprisonment. But for now, 5 last hits, 1 deny. They're going to have the homing missile on Yang, but top lane, they're looking to make maybe another go. Yang instead down bottom, the kinetic field coming out. They've got the homing missile, they've got the rocket barrage, they've got the thunder strike. The press the attack might save him for a moment. They get off the stick charge, the press the attack heal, keeping him alive, and DDC gets in there in time to stop any sort of dive coming out from this TNC squad.
Well done. Oh, man. Feels like TNC have pretty good control over the game at the moment. Armel, sure, he is struggling, but all he has to do is stay alive, not die to this lane, and he'll eventually have the space to come back into it just because of the dominant off-lane.
And they're doing a really great job up there. CS department-wise, 14 last hits. There is 12 for Yang. Experience, they're about even in the off-laners, and now they have 2 support in each lane. But that's the interesting thing, is that Samage has gotten a lot more experience despite having Tims up in the top lane, just leeching the experience for the most part.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where Tusk is going to move, because he's the big playmaker for the side of VGJ.Thunder.
And that's... Tusk hasn't roamed at all in this game. He's had to sit top to try to defend the Tiny and get him some early levels.
Yeah, but he is level 3, so there's quite a bit of damage potential able to come out now.
I mean, can he leave Tiny now that he's getting some experience?
I don't think he can ever leave Tiny.
That's unfortunate.
But I also think that he doesn't do very much at all.
Well, he's going to try to help out as Sam H comes in with the Firefly. Good snowball save for now. They will get the stun. Avalanche coming in for the Burrow Strike onto 2. Tim's still going to work the 4 sticky napalms, and they will get the kill. Fade trying to TP away. He should make it out, and he will. But that is another big pickup for TNC in this top lane.
It's just a death zone over and over for VGJ.Thunder. I mean, what can they do about this? Even if Bane's there, nothing really changes, right? Especially being able to follow up with the stun after all the sticky napalm slows.
They're going to rotate lane. Sylar has rotated bottom. They're going to try to get a kill onto this Disruptor. They have the tree grab. The homing missile will come in with the toss Avalanche combination. The Flat Cannon. Cuckoo is fine. He's still alive. He has 11 stick charges to work with, and Raven will push him back. The tree throw almost getting the kill, but he has 50 HP, and TNC will keep Cuckoo alive despite the rotation from the Tiny.
This is much needed. A very much needed rotation from VGJ.Thunder, because Legion Commander, at least you can purge off the sticky napalm stacks. You're not in as much of danger. Probably not, especially with his large wand. It's what they need to start the game.
And they can also keep the wave pushed back too with the overwhelming odds, whereas they've taken a lot of tower damage.
They're actually rotating back up, so they're switching the lanes and just following them.
TNC want the best lanes possible other than that mid lane matchup. Yeah, that's lost at this point, but just try to get some extra advantage elsewhere. And Yang, that's going to be found here. They have the homing missile. They've got the Burrow Strike, the Rocket Barrage at level 3. He's got the press of the attack. He does have no wand charges as he just uses them. The Firefly is still going. DDC now up here. He's getting a little bit low as well. Samage still diving. Press the attack still down for another 7 seconds. Another auto attack or 2 will do the job. And DDC getting Sandstormed and Rocket Barrage. Raven gets a double kill. It is 5-0, Brax, the start of this first game.
Well, Batrider, super, super strong in the early parts of the game. Gyrocopter, same thing. These are not heroes that you want to fight at all in the beginning of the game.
And they know exactly what they're doing. As we talked about, this is a comfort draft that they are really enjoying running at this point. Yeah, again, Armel's not having the best farm, but they can get him back into the game at some point in the future.
That is the key for VGJ.Thunder, right? Medusa's farm, he is farming extremely well, and it looks like there's not very much they can do to gank him, right? How can you really gank for this Outworld Devourer when Freeze has full HP? Armel sitting at no mana and also a full level down.
Another gank onto Sylar in the top lane. The Firefly, the Burrow Strike is there. They've got the homing missile, but the Avalanche will stop it from happening. They're still trying to rotate in. And Yang getting back with a TP, keeping Sylar alive, and this tower getting lower and lower.
But still, it's always reactionary, right? Eventually, oh, here we go.
Armel might get killed in the mid lane. This could be a big pickup. Down for 26 seconds.
There we go.
Armel's miserable life in that mid lane continues.
Miserable indeed. That is the one lane that TNC can't help at all, right? I mean, look at that tower sitting at half HP with 3 heroes beating on it.
Yeah, but the good news is they are finding that tier 1 in the top lane too. It's not like things are going that poorly for TNC. They have 2 lanes now winning. They're getting a lot of farm. They have the glimpse back, but the snowball will be there to save Fade as he is going to walk up back to his hill.
Yep, good stuff.
All right, Brax, Raven up to the 3,300 net worth mark. He is going to go for the phase drum Aquila. Wow, I haven't seen that build before. It's crazy.
What's he go next?
Potentially BKB, I would say.
Oh, good call. I agree
In
with
this
that.
game, he will have to deal with duel, but
He can get away without going for a BKB earlier on in this game.
maybe something like an SNY instead.
Yeah,
pretty much the other only choice.
Yep, just tank up a bit.
I did think we saw the Dragonlance once in one of the games.
Yeah, that was pretty odd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely less common, but it's the same idea.
Avalanche
They get the
toss
duel?
back, Sandstorm. They can't get the duel off, and Tims will survive. He's got the Burrow Strike. He's fine. They were setting up for it, but good Sandstorm usage from Tims.
It's quite odd to see the off laner and the safe laner in the same lane at 8 minutes. You know, it's typically only happens when you're trying to swap up the lanes, go for some sort of a gank play, but then if you fail like that, what happens now? Who's going to go to the off lane to play up against Raven's Gyrocopter?
I mean, the thing is, though, in spite of that Yang Legion being there, Sylar's 3rd in net worth right now.
Yeah, he's
so he's
made,
not doing too poorly, all things considered.
Agreed.
And now they will rotate down bottom, try to throw up the Enfeeble onto Raven, and just try to stop him from farming.
It's such a difficult start, too. Sylar is tiny, but you're right, net worth looks fine.
He is doing well at this point. Sitting a little bit behind that of Freeze. Raven's still first in net worth, Freeze second. He's going to go for the Mask of Madness. They'll probably just try to get some stacks going in the jungle. I think Fade's going to do that now. He's attempting to anyway. Yeah, he's going to try to get 2 stacks at the same time for Fade. And he might get it now. He's only going to get the 1. So.
Stack Dota.
And that's what you would expect, though, with a...
Yeah, definitely. One team has Gyro, other team has Medusa. It's get your stacks on.
Yeah. So we're waiting on that first big initiation item. We talked about the drum from Gyrocopter. There's obviously the Blink Dagger that's still available for Sylar or for the Legion Commander, the Bat Rider for Tims.
Well, I'm not talking about initiation. TNC smoking up, making their way towards the top lane, trying to make something happen.
They have a ward, but it's not going to catch the smoke. Yang is at the hard camp now, clearing it up. They should find him here in a moment. They have the Tims Burrow Strike to start things off. He's going to run away. He actually got just another vision with that. Overrolling on his boot speed, trying to get up to the high ground. He will get there. The call down coming in. They're still chasing him.
Slow enough.
It does hit him, but he's going to phase and then press the attack it off. They have the homing missile. How long are you going to dive this for TNC? They're still going. DDC rotates in. Burrow Strike. They'll find the Bane instead. Maybe not the target they want, but they still get the kill. DDC, he's going to burn down one way or the other. The Firefly, they get off the duel, though. They're going to try to counter-initiate. They have the Snowball coming in, and this is going to be the Bat Rider falling. The Mystic Snake, the stick charge isn't there in time. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. That's not bad for VGJ.Thunder, and perhaps TNC getting a bit too aggressive and a bit too deep with their dives.
Quite deep, but they're still able to secure the top tier 1 tower, which was their main goal, right? They're making this movement so they can take over that part of the map. They know this tower is extremely weak because they've had such a big advantage from the lane phase. They can make a nice quick play there and take that over.
And it's more room for Armel in the mid lane, trying to get up to a decent net worth, and he's now ahead of the Legion Commander. They're going to go for top. The homing missile will be dodged by Fade with the Snowball. Yang's coming in, has the overwhelming odds up to level 4, throws up the nuke. It's a 1K advantage for TNC. They want to keep up this fast-paced play. Trying to take over the map is one thing you could do to limit this Medusa's farm.
Yep, we've got the glimpse down bottom onto Sylar's Tiny.
Kinetic field, Sylar in trouble. He's getting run at, and he's going to burn down to the Firefly again. So Sam H goes down, but he gets back involved in the bottom lane, finds himself a kill, and even closer to that Blink Dagger if he wants to go for that item first.
Yeah, TNC are closing in on their initiation items pretty quickly. Cuckoo level 7 on Disruptor, so with that max range glimpse, very easy to find the targets. Tim's 1,000 Wolf from Blink, and Sam H also closing in on the Blink Dagger. And that's when this game gets pretty difficult for VGJ.Thunder to find the appropriate farm. Like for now, Freeze is safe in the jungle, but who knows what happens in a few minutes.
So they will try to get some more room for this Medusa. The drum is done. They just need a little more time for TNC to get to these Blink Daggers, but VGJ.Thunder still fine in getting their farm across the map. Another smoke will come in from TNC. They're going to move up to the top lane with Raven and Cuckoo. They have the Static Storm. Cuckoo's level 7, actually, so he's the level 4 Glimpse along with it. And they almost will find Yang again in the same position they found him last time. They're going to run right in. The homing missile's there. He's going to try to go one way, but Cuckoo's there to cut off the path of retreat. The kinetic field, the Static Storm, and Yang more than likely dead. He's going to get dropped down with one more auto attack. Raven now with a dominating spree. Phase, Drum, Aquila, Raindrop, 600 gold. Top net worth hero.
But despite all the kills for TNC, they're still only at a 2,000 gold lead, and that's with the Tier 1 tower being taken. Well, I guess they have taken the mid-Tier 1 tower, but you'd expect a bigger lead, especially with such aggressive heroes, right? But VGJ.Thunder, they're still fighting all the farm. Medusa, extremely farmed. Even Sylar has found some recovery farm.
Yeah. So we'll check in on VGJ.Thunder now, moving down to the bottom lane, trying to get aggressive, looking for their Tier 1 tower, and just trying to push this as best as possible. Maybe looking for a kill, potentially, just trying to sit behind Sylar. But TNC will go for yet another smoke. It's their third in a row at this point.
This is 3 smokes in like 3 minutes, Vlad.
Yeah, they're
not going to have any afterwards.
They're just trying to find any kills, trying to get more map control, turn this into some objective. They're going to run right into the rest of VGJ.Thunder, who are also smoked now. They're on the high ground. DDC looking for Nightmare or Fiend's Grip. They've got the snowball. They're coming in. Cuckoo's going to be caught. No Static Storm available. The Fiend's Grip is there. They need Tim to Brostrick. The Astral save. Avalanche toss combination. Tim's is in trouble, and they get the dual win as Yang gets just off the time. Cuckoo kinetic fielding, keeping his team alive. Raven's here with a call down if they want to try to reinitiate. Now Armel try to stack up the Arcane Orb. Sam H is in. The Glimpse back is there. They want this kill. Yang's getting lower and lower. He's got stick charges. He gets him off, but it's not enough to survive, and Raven will secure another kill and mega kill spree. The Astral coming in, looking to keep going. Got the snowball save yet again. Toss back. The lasso up for Sam H, trying to find DDC. The Static Storm is ready. It's going to be 2 kills. They might find 3. Fade getting run down. The Firefly. TNC turn it around. They're ready to fight. Raven on the gyrocopter, dropping the call down, and a great glimpse from Cuckoo to set it all up.
God, VGJ.Thunder, they just need more time. You can't fight this core combination at the moment. You know, talking about recovery farm, Armel has made a pretty good way back into this game as well.
Freeze, Sylar. Armel is doing a great job. Double null tally treads up. He already has the Force Staff. The Blink Dagger is coming up next. He doesn't have the Arcane Orb levels, nor does he have Sanity's Eclipse, but that's fine. He'll be able to get there eventually. They're just trying to pressure and take some of these objectives, but Freeze is still farming up a Storm, and he will have a Dragonlance soon.
They see Sylar.
And we'll find Sylar, though. They have the Burrow Strike, the homing missile coming in. The Glimpse back, they've got the kinetic field. Raven will go for the Burrow Strikes. They have the call down available. Sylar's rather tanky as wand charges, but only 2 of them. That won't keep him alive. Armel gets off the 1 auto attack to secure the kill. He walks up and just hits him once, walks away. Easy kill for TNC. It is 12 kills to 3, Brax, at the start of this game. It is still only a 3K lead, but now they have their Blink Daggers. If Sam H is looking for Fade, he won't find him. The Blink Initiation wasn't quite there, but they are really starting to dominate the kill score.
Yep, that just shows you how aggressive TNC can play on the map, right? They can just go anywhere they want, look for these kills. They are starting to pick up the items that let them do these things. Blink on Bat Riders. Tim's is also pretty close to his.
But they are out of smokes, I believe.
Yes, that's the big thing, right? And without these smokes, they are probably going to have a much harder time taking these other towers.
Yeah. They'll still get some more room to work with now that they have the top Tier 1 down, and Raven will continue to split push. But they are setting up mid for TNC. VGJ.Thunder just passively backing up, trying to find whatever farm they can on the map with Yang down to the bottom lane. He will have a blink here in a moment. That might keep VGJ.Thunder in this if they can get a couple of blink duel victories for the Dire side.
Yeah, that blink tag is going to help them find some necessary pickoffs to help, you know, it'll make their split push game a lot better with Yang being able to camp out some of these side lanes, look for some pickoffs. Their team fight, probably not exactly what they'll be looking for yet. They want to keep on farming, get those items up, because they actually are farming extremely well.
Freeze is looking strong now, pushing. They've got the blink last. They're setting it for a fight. Good Fiend's Grip and the press the attack at the same time. Sam H getting low. The Static Storm is there. Cuckoo comes in. Yang gets the blink duel off, and they're going to find more now. The Sam H is dead. Freeze still fighting strong. There's the Burrow Strike, the epicenter. This would be a big kill. The Sanities gets dropped down, and Freeze getting lower and lower. The Stone gets the Sandstorm gets the kill. The Lower's Punch. They're looking for more. Raven trying to chase down Fade, the Snowball in again, but it's just to dodge any further damage from TNC. He's going to pull himself back to the rest of the fray, and he will fall. VGJ.Thunder lose a second target. Raven is 6-0-4. They might find a third. The Glimpse back is there. Tim says the Burrow Strike at 3. Not enough mana. They don't need it. The Kinetic Field, the double kill. The rocket barrage damage. Raven is destroying right now, Brax.
Oh man, TNC are off to an explosive start, Mark. Just everywhere they go, they're ready for VGJ.Thunder's aggression.
Even losing Sam H, even not having the best blink initiation, they're still there with the counter initiation, the Disruptor, the Static Storm. They come through with Tim's Burrow Strike, the Blink Dagger, the Epicenter. This will lead into a Tier 1 tower. VGJ.Thunder trying to defend this for now. I'm not sure if they want to commit to this too hard. They almost find the Courier. DDC still smoked.
Sylar has a Blink Dagger and an Arcane Rune, looking to make something happen.
I'm going to get back to the Shrine. DDC is just looking for anything now, it looks like.
Yep.
He has a ward. I think that's what he wants to place up under the high ground.
So Legion Commander, while it is very good at purging the Flaming Lasso, there's still multiple forms of initiation on TNC, right? There's the Blink Sand Stun, the Blink Lasso, and the Glimpse that they have to deal with. And soon there's going to be the Blink Astral that'll set up into Disruptor spells too. So while it is effective, it's not exactly seeing its full value here.
It's just frightening the amount of angles TNC can take for a fight.
Exactly. They have so many options when it comes to that. Then you look at VGJ.Thunder, they're getting there, right? Blink Dagger on Tiny, Blink Dagger on Legion Commander. Medusa's starting to beef up as well.
Yeah, but it feels like she needs to do a lot in this game.
It does.
Right? I mean, you're far ahead. You're kind of tied with Raven. You're about 500 net worth behind. But this hero late game will do some work if you can get there. And they just have to keep their towers alive. They did keep their Tier 1 tower bottom alive, which I was surprised by. I thought TNC were going to be able to take that. And things have slowed down, which I think favors the freeze Medusa now, but there still is a lot of farm coming in from TNC. They will find the kill onto Tim's here. The Snowball Walrus Punch combination, the Avalanche coming in. Cuckoo tries to get in there in time, but VGJ.Thunder find a nice pickoff. Oh, they almost get Cuckoo too with that Ice Shards, but they won't be able to find it.
Yep, it's VGJ.Thunder's time to start making some moves smoked up, looking to make more things happen. And Mott, we saw TNC smoke up 3 times earlier, right? Now it's VGJ.Thunder's time to actually make some of these plays since they've hit their item timings.
Yeah, they have those items, they have those levels available. They're ready to go. Yang up
is
front,
on a
Sylar
war.
behind. TNC moving together as a team, backing up towards the Roche pit. Cuckoo would be not the best pick off, but they will find it. It looks like the Avalanche coming in, the toss combination, the Brain Sap is there. It's just the Disruptor down, and they're going to try to go with the last of the force up the high ground. But here comes the duel, the Burrow Strike. It's a lot of damage already being done. The Firefly still going out to Yang. Not much damage. The Fiend's Grip there from DDC won't be canceled. They're fighting on the other side of the fight.
In the
Call down coming at the epicenter, not doing much. Raven is in. Looking for Sylar, getting lower and lower. So is Yang at this point. Armel going to town to Fade. He has to back up, but it doesn't look like TNC can find anything. Not yet. They've got the blink up from Tim's, looking for the Burrow Strike. Fade will fall. But so far, it's just a support for a support at this point. Brax with a lot of spells being used, and now Sam H chasing DDC down towards this Ancient stack, trying to find whatever he can. DDC pretty slow at this point. The Force coming in from Sam H. They get off the Nightmare. That won't keep him alive. They take the Nightmare off, and Raven will secure the kill with the Rocket Barrage. Now a Godlike Spree with a double kill for TNC. So they do get the 2-1 advantage in that engagement.
So TNC won that fight, but it was still so weird, right? Raven's Gyrocopter came in from the back, got the flank off, a nice call down, but he got completely zoned out of the fight by the Snowies. It looked like it could have been so much better, but when you're playing against Medusa, you just can't run headfirst into this hero. It's just not the way to take the fights.
Yeah. The Stone Gaze comes out, but they might find freeze anyways. They've got the Blink Burrow coming in. He's got plenty of mana still to work with. The Static Storm, though, will actually deal with that. They've got the Flame Break. The auto attack's coming in from Armel. That is a big kill. Dead for 54. TNC will find it, and now they'll move in and try to find more in the Tier 1 tower mid, and maybe even the Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane as well.
Yep, it's go time. Sometimes you don't have those smokes available when you use too many early on. You really struggle to make some plays like that happen, but TNC are finding the openings.
They will find more. The Glimpse back onto Yang, trying to find this kill. The Burrow Strike is there. Tims will find another one. Armel stacking up the intelligence. It's going to be another kill. Armel now on a killing spree. Forget about the early rough start that he had in the lane. He's doing great now. And Cuckoo is looking for more. DDC up onto the high ground with the kinetic field. They've got the Blink Burrow. They're diving to Tier 3 at this point. They want to try to finish this off and try to get some kills. It's still close to the Firestorm or Firefly. They're looking for more. They've got the Feast, but it won't keep them alive for now. They've got the Snowball back onto Sam H. They're jumping in with Armel with the Blink Dagger. Fade still getting chased down. The homing missiles there. The Rocket Barrage and another kill. 4 dead for VGJ.Thunder. It is getting worse and worse. That is 45 stolen intelligence for Armel, and he is just crushing it right now.
The aggression is relentless, Mont, but luckily for VGJ.Thunder, TNC's lineup, not going to rush.
Are they going to find a fifth? Sylar needs to run. He's got Blink it too. The auto attacks are there. The kinetic field down. The Thunderstruck. He can't blink in. The Sandstorm. Raven's there. He's looking for another kill. The Rocket Barrage. Beyond godlike is Raven. They are just running back and forth across the map, finding kills everywhere. Nowhere is safe for VGJ.Thunder at this point. The Tier 3 certainly wasn't, and the other side of the map for Sylar was not either.
I think we've seen this Gyrocopter performance from Raven in this tournament.
I mean, he's having a great time, but his team is setting it up for him. The lasso is there. Freeze would be a nice kill. They've got the statics from good force out the Burrow strike. So actually, Freeze might survive the glimpse back in. He still has planted mana, now getting lower and lower. The Nightmare is there. Freeze, half HP at this point. Raven wants to go, but there's that Stone Gaze, and maybe this turns around. Raven getting low. They need to be careful. They have the Ultimate Orb and the SNY on him. They want to keep chasing, though, with the Burrow strike on Tim's. There's no follow-up. He has to Sandstorm. He might survive for now, but the duel is there, and that is a big turn for VGJ.Thunder. That 4-step finally coming into play for Freeze, keeping him alive.
Man, if he got caught inside that kinetic field of the Static Storm, good chance he just died there. It was nice that they were able to glimpse him out of the Shrine heal, but just wasn't enough. Medusa's so tanky at this point.
And that's really how Freeze has died so far in this game, has been the Static Storms from the Disruptor. If you can survive that, if you can maybe get a BKB or force yourself out of that situation, you're going to be okay. You can get off the Stone Gaze. And you saw how much damage Raven took. He had to back himself up.
Yeah, he just couldn't get into the fight at all.
As we've seen between these two teams already, this game is not over despite the 7K advantage for TNC. I mean, it's big, but we have seen bigger leads for this Viridian team before.
Mon, what kind of a gold lead do you call insurmountable in this current patch? I can't pick a number.
When there's Gyrocopter Rapier or Medusa Rapier, I'm not sure there is a number.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even about the numbers.
Well, let's say TNC had a 30K lead in the other game. Let's say 40K then, maybe?
This must be Nahaz's worst patch of all time. It's not about the numbers, I'm sorry.
How do you predict anything?
Yep.
Well, we will see a 7K advantage for TNC now, a 22-8 lead at 23 minutes into this game. They've kept some of their towers alive. The tier 1 bottom is still there, the tier 2 top. So TNC haven't quite put the pedal on the metal in terms of getting objectives. Roche hasn't been taking it this game.
Yep, that's the next big thing, right? Roche, yeah. But their heroes are not very good at taking Roche. They've hit this wall.
I mean, they're trying to split push for VGJ.Thunder. That's their way back in this game. But it's tough. There's always that Sand King to jump on you from the shadows with Sam H on the Bat Rider. It's a lot harder to split push in this game, I think, for VGJ.Thunder.
Yeah, I think TNC used maybe one too many smokes in the early game because they were extremely dominant and they were able to take these fights, but the smokes kind of turned into a pick-off or two and not into an objective afterwards, right?
Yeah.
They're already so strong at this point in the game, they probably could have just barreled down some of these lanes and taken it without any of that. You know, and now we're at this point of the game where they get one smoke every 10 minutes and they just can't close off the map to stop Freeze from farming because Freeze has pretty much never left this triangle of jungle camps on the right side. He's been there for like...
I mean, that's where he's going to find the most farm, is that triangle jungle area.
Double damage.
So, I mean, they're starting to find some farm, but they just need to be able to slow this down for TNC, keep doing what they're doing, keep these waves pushed out. They have some okay vision in the enemy jungle.
Yeah. You know, in a normal game, if you are VGJ.Thunder, you'd be terrified. You're like, oh, well, there's no way we can comfortably contest Roshan. You know, we don't want to walk into that part of the map. But OD, Gyrocopter, Bat Rider, not good at taking that at all. And TNC are, you know, they're looking for their next move.
They're sitting together now. They're just playing as 5 at this point. Tim's kind of moving around. They'll move together. They drop a sentry. Actually won't be spotted. They even kinetic field, thinking that it would be up towards the river, but it's not. And that will keep VGJ.Thunder safe. They can back up knowing that TNC are moving together. They do want to get the bottom tier 1, but they might even find Fade. They have the Blink Force Astral from Armel trying to set something up here. Kinetic Field, the Snowball, that'll pull them back in.
He has a Blink Dagger, though.
I mean, nobody's coming in. He's just dead. Fade will just get caught and killed.
Yep.
It was a good effort, but nothing he could do. And now they will finally lose this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. TNC starting to get a little bit more map control here.
Yeah, but because that move was scouted out by a ward, VGJ.Thunder they're just farming. They're farming the entire map, and they're closing in on some dangerous items. Legion Commander Yang almost had his BKB. You know, even Sylar getting very farmed. He has the Sanjin Yasha, Medusa. Once she gets that Lincoln Sphere, she becomes so much more difficult to kill.
Yeah, but on the other side, Raven just picked up a Lincoln Sphere. And I was wondering if he was going to buy this item
Looks
against
good, actually.
the Blink Duel initiation.
It looks much better than a BKB.
Yeah. And that's usually the item, but this time around he's not going to go for it. The Yule Scepter onto DDC, the Blink Burrow coming in. They will try to find this kill.
They see more.
And that's going to be Freeze backing up, DDC getting low.
Cuckoo's running down trying to find the glimpse.
And they're trying to find anything. They will get DDC, finally. Down for 32 seconds, the Flame
so
Break
close
coming
to getting
in.
it off.
Trying to push
There
Freeze
it
back,
is.
and they get the glimpse up now into the Static Storm. That's huge if they can find this kill. They need Armel, but he actually got the Stone Gaze off preemptively, which is big. Epicenter getting channeled, Sam H getting low. Now they'll bring Burrow in onto 2. It's a lot of damage. The call down now coming in. The Snowball trying to turn this around. Freeze. No mana, the Sam H Eclipse drop. 4 dead for VGJ.Thunder. TNC on the run, rolling over VGJ.Thunder in this first game, 26 minutes in. The glimpse back. Siler's in trouble now. The Avalanche will go. He might get this kill, but the burrow strike comes out. Siler gets the courier at least, but that is it. It's now Armel who's godlike with a triple kill, and this will lead into the bottom pushing Tier 3 tower maybe being taken by TNC.
Raven's godlike and Armel's godlike.
That's pretty bad, Brax, for VGJ.Thunder.
Maybe numbers don't tell the story of the game, but maybe godlike sprees do.
Yeah, that's how you know you'll be able to win and close out the game. They might get a set of racks here, but they want DDC instead. The auto attack damage, the Armel Arcane Orb, the Raven Rocket Barrage is more than enough damage to bring down this poor Bane, who has now died 7 times. The Tier 3, they don't have the fastest push, but when everybody's dead, it's not really going to matter at this point, Brax.
Right, it's we need a team wipe before we can take any towers at all. And now with the double Lincoln Spheres being picked up from TNC, how are VGJ.Thunder meant to start a fight? Blink Duel is no longer reliable at all. You're relying on the Tusk Shards to come out, or a Tiny combo, but without a BKB, that exposes Tiny to a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, and you have the save from the Astral to come in. You have the Blink Burrow to counter-initiate. And we'll see the glimpse here. I mean, Freeze gets his Stone Gaze off right there, and the press of the attack comes out. And that means they can't quite initiate, but the Tim's Epicenter getting channeled, and that turns the fight right back around for TNC, the double Burrow strike, the call down. And they're just so strong at this point. You can't fight into them.
Yep.
Freeze just doesn't have enough mana, nor does he have enough HP or damage, really, to kill anybody.
Mont, I mention this like every game. I always talk about the ease of execution. TNC's lineup is as simple as Blink stunning a target, running them down with the glimpse. They have 3 different heroes to provide catch, 4 if you want to count the Outworld Devourer. And then when you look at TNC, well, they've got 2 Lincoln Spheres, so it's pretty difficult. We hope they go on our Medusa.
So VGJ.Thunder, they have picked what the panel called an experimental draft, and it definitely feels like that in this first game because TNC, they've got their comfort heroes, and they're not really experimenting at all. They're experimenting on VGJ by pounding them, essentially.
Jesus.
I know it's early. It's still 28 minutes in, and again, no lead is safe, but DDC is going to get burrow struck. The TP will not complete. They're going to find the skill. They're going to give more farm for Armel or whoever, Raven. Doesn't really matter. Armel will get the kill. It's not important at this point. 14K advantage for TNC. We've got the melee racks, and VGJ.Thunder will try to split push, but as he's doing so, he's going to get caught with a Yule Scepter from Tim, the Blink Burrow, the Sandstorm. Samage forces his way through, trying to get into the trees to hide, but the glimpse back, and Fade will get Firefly down. And he almost got the Tier 1 tower. Yeah. It's actually in deny range.
He was trying to clear out the wave real quickly. Even if he goes down, nothing really changes in the game, so pretty good move, but Tim's extremely fast on the Yule Scepter. Now it's Roshan time.
It is indeed Roche time. They will go for Roseville, grab the Aegis. This is the first Roshan of the game at 29 minutes in. TNC, 14K. They'll continue to split push for VGJ.Thunder. They have the SNY and Blake. They've really been stopped in their tracks in itemization. We haven't seen anything purchased since the Hurricane Pike from Freeze or the SNY from Sylar.
Well, let's talk a bit about VGJ.Thunder. You know, how do they come back into this game? It's not easy for them to start fights, so let's talk about how they can actually take them, right? Going on Medusa is both good and bad. If she happens to die or doesn't manage to get off the Stone Gaze, then it's disastrous. But we saw one fight where the Stone Gaze managed to come out, and it looked a little bit better, right? They got some damage out. Medusa closing in on that level 20 talent where she can get the plus 700 mana to make her extremely tanky. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that level 20 talent might be a game changer. But we will need to see more damage from Freeze, right? He doesn't do enough yet. And maybe you think about that Rapier, but first he needs a Butterfly. That Rapier is a long way away if you are Freeze. It's not even close. You have to think about so many different items before you can get to that point in the game.
Yeah, the Butterfly with the level 20 talent is that big power spike where they might not be able to kill Freeze's Medusa anymore. No MKBs coming out just quite yet. Odia here who's very reliant on being able to land these auto attacks.
I mean, Armel's level 20 now. He actually went for the 20 attack speed talent at level 10 instead of the 250 health, but he has the 20 strength, so he's still extraordinarily tanky with the Lincoln Sphere to boot, and now working on a Shiva's Guard.
So tanky, actually. 2,800 HP with the Lincoln Sphere and a plate mill on top.
I mean, Armel, he got crushed in the laning phase. He had to deal with a Bane enfeebling him, but they just essentially 5-man. He rotated to a lot of fights. He found farm, and he was able to get back into it. And now they're going to find shrines on top of it.
Very impressive so far from TNC, but VGJ.Thunder, these guys they're no pushovers, but
there's no exorcism to fall back on this game, though.
We've seen what they can do late game.
Yeah.
Right? Tons of comebacks from this team.
They have that really that big ability. Maybe the Stone Gaze, maybe the Avalanche Toss combination. They don't have that like Exorcism or game-changing fight like RP or ability, excuse me, like RP or Black Hole. So
Well,
it's not easy.
There are a couple heroes who excel in the high ground defense game, and Medusa's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that is for sure. The toss backs also from the Tiny.
Yeah.
Something to consider. Raven will just siege. He's going to get Glimmer. They'll ice shards him for now, but he's fine. Slowly but surely, they can take down the tier 3 tower. They'll just go for the other shrine, actually down towards the bottom area of the map, the triangle.
Yep, it's a nice play. They hit mid for one wave, did some damage, back up, take the shrine while there's some downtime, and they're in no rush to end this game. You know, these guys are showing their patience. Their what's the word for it? Their discipline.
Yes. And they need to show that. They don't want to throw another lead again.
That's pretty crazy when you think of how aggressive they are earlier on in the game, too. You know, once they get to that late game stage of the game where they know they need to siege the game, is not easy to end it all. You can't just jump into the high ground and expect to win the game. You've got to take your time, play the strategy.
Yeah. The discipline to slow down, to slow siege it, not to give anything away to VGJ.Thunder.
Yep. They know if they screw up that one fight, all of a sudden Medusa's going to have that next item.
I mean, do you try to wait for the next Aegis if you're or when the Aegis is down, I should say, for VGJ.Thunder, then take a fight?
You're definitely hoping for that. You want TNC to dive your base.
Yeah.
This is the best place VGJ.Thunder can take a team fight.
I mean, VGJ.Thunder, they just have to hope for that aggressive play from TNC, hope for the Aegis to be dropped down, and they can get a kill onto Raven, because that's a lot of gold. I mean, he is the top net worth hero in the game, and he's sitting on a big bounty for VGJ.Thunder if they can get it. Once Raven is dead, that's one of the big targets taken down, but you have to deal with two in Armel and Raven. And again, counter initiation is significant, but item-wise, Raven now has his butterfly done. They're getting more items as they have choked out the map. They've got the Firefly. They might look for a lasso initiation here. They're still going to work on the tier 3 tower slowly but surely. Freeze is level 20, so has the 700 mana talent. Now working on an MKB. The Shiva's Guard is done for Outworld Devour. It is going to be another minute and 15 seconds before this Aegis is reclaimed, and TNC would at least like to get the tier 3 tower in the mid lane, probably more.
Yep, the range racks down bottom almost falls to the creeps, only sitting at 240 health.
That is, it's getting lower and lower, and they'll have to continue to defend this constant push. There's no real split push coming out. They can't go top.
Exactly.
They go top, they just get blink burrowed or blink lassoed by TNC.
Yep, they can't spread themselves too thin. They can only really sit behind the Medusa.
Got the Firefly. Samh still looking for a way into the base, but he will get tree tossed on. That means his blink is down for at least another 3 seconds. Tier 3 still getting assaulted. Raven will pop the flat cannon. They've got the toss back. That's Raven. That might be the Aegis down. It is. VGJ.Thunder, they get the glimpse back. Static Storm, though, that'll be on to Freeze. The press of the attack comes in. They need more damage. They're looking for that duel. They've got the Avalanche. Freeze is still fine. He will pop the Medusa. All Fade getting run down by Raven for the Rocket Barrage. Lasso is there. They found Yang, but he's got his BKB off. That means a lot of that damage is not going to be there from Armel. The epicenter Temps. It's on to 2. They've got the kill. The Sanities. Freeze getting dropped low. The homing missile is there. It's a triple kill. They have to buy back. They have one on the Deuce as well. Siler gets glimpsed back. That's another death. He's down for 60. Everybody's buying back. An ultra kill for Armel. A 23k net worth advantage. And they are so close, Brax. They can taste it. They just need 1 or 2 more kills, and this game is theirs.
Yep, now they've got that massive window where there are no buybacks from VGJ.Thunder, and also time to spend their gold. Time for some nice new items. It was a good approach by VGJ.Thunder to start that team power, right? You toss back the gyrocopter. Of course, he has the Aegis, but you need to burn it in a way. And that's probably the best way they can do it. It put TNC in a really awkward spot where, hey, do we run past everything and help the gyro, or do we hope he's okay on his own? What happens if he gets dueled after he respawns? And it didn't work out, but it's just the gold advantage showing, right? Armel was able to stack up so much intelligence, Sanity clipped a ridiculous amount of damage.
Oh, they just smoked into an illusion. They wall responged it.
That's rough.
Yeah, that is rough. But yeah, I mean, they got the Aegis. That was nice. There was just no follow-up. Tim's has played extraordinarily well on the Sand King. The burst rate counter initiations are really what I think. They've done some work for TNC.
They've all been doing work, Mont.
Yeah, 24k lead now for TNC, 35 minutes into the game. And, well, VGJ.Thunder will finally feel confident enough to push back out of their base together, trying to get to this bottom lane.
God, that's got to feel so bad, using so many buybacks, unable to find any kills at all. TNC just strolling out at the base, and now all they really have to do is wait for this next Roshan, and buybacks are still going to be on cooldown.
3 buybacks used for VGJ.Thunder. Siler still has his, but he's the only one, it looks like. So if they kill Sylar, it's not the end of the game, but if they kill Freeze, I'm not sure if you can really, unless you can take a good trade out of it. They finally get the MKB for the Tiny, and that will give them some extra damage. And Tiny and the Lake can do some work, but they're so far behind now that I'm not sure just an MKB is going to be enough. And conversely, same for Freeze. He's still not at his MKB himself. He needs to get that Hyperstone. But
while the MKB is nice, it's more about, well, what's the next item? They need something else. They need even more to be able to fight TNC's lineup.
they are still holding on. Yeah. I mean, even the supports for TNC are just jacked, and I guess you would expect them to be.
Yep, with all the tower gold and just winning fights in general, gets you a lot of money. I mean, what are VGJ.Thunder meant to do from this position? They're down so much gold, they can't really leave their base to team fight. To really do anything, they have to use the old buddy system just so they can farm some free plays. And they know that they're just playing against the clock right now. Once Roshan respawns, they may need to make an extremely bold play to contest the Roshan. If they somehow win that fight, it could stall the game long enough for them to come back, but it's super risky because they have no control over the area.
Yeah, and there's no real vision. I mean, they can barely get outside their base. There's a lot of aggressive wars for TNC, nothing around the Roche area, but they don't really need it, though.
Yep.
Roche could respawn right now, but it's going to be a long duration, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. It'll give some more time for VGJ.Thunder to hold the high ground. And I think if you're TNC, you just wait for this Roche.
Yes, definitely.
You take it slowly. You've got all the items you need to win a fight. I mean, they almost have a Satanic for this Gyrocopter. He's getting very close.
Yeah, everyone's getting close to their next items. Armel almost has a Hex as well. Lotus Orb picked up on Tim's. We've seen what that item can do. And another Lincoln Sphere picked up on Samich. So triple Lincolns. That makes sieging so easy when you can casually just slap it on your Gyrocopter hitting the base. Helps with all these disables.
Yeah, I mean, how do you kill him when he gets the Satanic? 3 Lincoln Sphere to stack on top of him.
You probably can't.
No, I don't think so. So we'll just wait till Roche is up. We still have a little bit to go before that happens. VGJ.Thunder, I would assume, want to get a smoke before the next Roshan, if they have one.
Pretty lucky that Roshan happened to be nearly the max respawn timer for VGJ.Thunder. That gives them some more time to keep farming, to let their buybacks come off cooldown.
That's true. The buybacks are starting to cool down now. I mean, it's still like 3 minutes and 43 seconds away, but...
Yep, there's going to be a window of like that minute and a half where they don't have it, but it is the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, so they, like if they die at like a Roche fight or something, they'll have at least a minute before they can get back up. But even the Illusions now sieging the tier 3 tower in the mid lane, it's getting lower and lower. The range rack's bottom is still alive, but they're barely hanging on for VGJ.Thunder.
It's the slow death mod.
I mean, what else can you do? You just have to sit on your high ground.
Exactly, right? You can't actually afford to leave your base because then you just lose even faster. You need to take every possible step that'll swing this game in your favor. Medusa's a strong hero, but can't you do it alone?
It's a catch-22. If you smoke out and take a fight, you just lose the game. But if you just sit back and let them take Aegis and Cheese, you might lose the game anyway.
Yep.
But they did pick up a smoke on the DDC. They're going to try to find something here. There's no vision in the base for TNC. They won't see this happening.
I think they're getting ready to make that bold, aggressive play where they can perhaps contest Roshan or try to find better positioning for themselves, because I really do think if they just wait, they are going to lose the game.
Get even one kill on one of the cores, Armel or Raven, doesn't matter which one.
Yep.
And then try to contest this Roshan.
The fights outside the base become a lot less structured, more chaotic, where truly anything can happen in a team fight.
Here they go, VGJ.Thunder. Perhaps their last chance in this game.
Scan hits on Cuckoo, but that's not the target they want.
They do not want Cuckoo. He has spotted DDC. They're going to try to go on him with Fade. The snowball is there. It seems he's ready for the counter initiation. The Walrus kicked back, though. The last one coming in. That'll be from this Bat Rider. Now the call down from Raven trying to fight this. And Armel is in. They've already dropped the Bane down there looking for Yang. The BKB is still going. They've got the Disruptor. Glimpse back. They've got the Tiny. 3 dead. Freeze is going to be next potentially. Sandys gets dropped down. That's all of his mana gone. It's a double kill for Armel. 5 dead, and GG is called. TNC looked absolutely fantastic in this first game, Bryce. I mean, they looked dominant.
They looked extremely